Yeah, Hamilton's a pretty safe place to live. Towards Auckland, there's a lot more population diversity, and so there's places up in Auckland that are a little bit scarier, but Hamilton is a really safe city to live. Houses are a little bit different there. They don't have a lot of insulation, and so they get really cold in the winter. For example, the house we lived in, the apartment, was just cinder blocks, and so it would get pretty cold at night in the winter. It's a really pretty city. There's like a lake just right in Hamilton, and the people there are really nice. You could go and you could talk to any single person there, and they'd come up and they'd have a conversation with you. One of my areas was in Temple View, which was the area just right around the temple, and there it's an area just full of rich, culture and stories about the early saints in New Zealand. And the church college was actually built there, and recently they just tore it down, and they're going to build a really big stake center there. And they're also going to have a church history library about all the historical things of the missionaries and just a lot of really cool stories. But Temple View has probably one of the most dense population of members in New Zealand. There's 5 wards in a matter of just a few miles, and so every single person, there's a street, like one street is a ward, for example. And so it's a really safe place to live in Temple View. It's a little bit excluded from Hamilton. It's just kind of off the way a little bit, and there's the temple, and it's just a really beautiful place to live. Hamilton rains quite a bit, as all of New Zealand does, and it gets a little bit colder in the winter, but it also gets warm in the summer. New Zealand is a giant melting pot. There's individuals from every different island, from Kiribati or from Fiji or Samoa or Tonga, and there are people from China, from India. So there's so many different types of people, and so many different cultures, coming together, and a lot of them join the church. And so oftentimes you'll be teaching someone from India and someone from a couple other islands, and it's really cool to see just the melting pot and the diversity of the church there.